All right, everybody. Up next, we have our second session of the day, the AI Dialogue. We're shifting from smart cities to smart thinking, exploring how artificial intelligence is transforming the world of sport. To lead us in this conversation, we're joined by someone who knows both sides of that world, as an Olympian and as a pioneer of AI. Sarah Walker is an IOC member, a two-time Olympic medalist in BMX, and the chair of the IOC's AI Working Group, where she helped shape the Olympic AI agenda, guiding how technology can elevate performance, fairness, and the future of sport itself. Please join me in welcoming Sarah Walker.
Hey, everyone. So good to be here today. I believe I was going to be asked a few questions, but I think it looks like I'll be just speaking. So I can give a little bit of background on what I do. So as mentioned, I'm an Olympic medalist in the sport of BMX racing. I went to the London 2012 Games, where, the highlight of my career was crossing the finish line with my best performance ever to win an Olympic medal. It was something that I dreamed of as an 8-year-old kid watching the Olympic Games in Atlanta, 1996. So to achieve that goal was just a lifelong dream and very surreal. In terms of my involvement in artificial intelligence, basically I've just been curious and interested about technology for as long as I can remember. I wanted to know more about AI as it started taking off during COVID, and I went and studied AI as a general interest. And then I went into a little bit more detail, studying a bit more about unsupervised machine learning. Very interesting, very complex. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I have a lot of interest and enthusiasm for technology and AI. When it comes to the IOC, we have developed the Olympic AI agenda. And one thing we did there was really build our guiding principles. So there's 5 guiding principles that we have. The first being integrity, obviously being transparent, being responsible and safe builds trust in what we're doing because AI is powerful and we want to harness that AI with that in mind. We want people to trust what we're doing. We want people to trust the technology. And that's very important when it comes to the integrity of the Olympic movement and artificial intelligence. The second is for it to be fair and accessible. So there are 206 national Olympic committees across the world that we are our stakeholders. So there's many different access to internet, access to opportunities, different, funding models. So being able to create as much fairness as possible and as much accessibility to AI as possible is one of our guiding principles. So in Oceania, for example, we have Nauru, which is around 12,000 people for the whole country. So finding a specific AI expert may be a bit challenging, or even access to internet within that country versus, say, in Oceania, Australia and New Zealand, which has much faster speeds and much more access. So having that fairness is really important. The third is around personalization. So obviously the Olympics inspire a lot of people. They inspired me as a little 8-year-old girl watching the Olympics. So how do we personalize that experience and to fans, to stakeholders? How do we engage with them, whether that at the venue, at the event, roaming around the city, versus staying at home and absorbing the Olympics from a distance? And also, how do we work with stakeholders to personalize their experience? We obviously have all the 206 national Olympic committees, but we also have all the international federations. We have the organizing committee. We have all these people involved in bringing the largest or the biggest and most exciting sporting event across all the codes to life during the Olympic Games. So how do we personalize that to everyone? The next one is around balance. So we have a long tradition of the Olympic Games, but we also want to innovate. So how do we balance that and honor the traditions and values of the Olympic Games while creating new possibilities with this new and exciting technology? And finally, we want to collaborate. So it's not just about the IOC saying, we think this and you should do this. It's what are the opportunities for everyone? What are the risks for everyone? How do we support a sustainable future so that we can have a positive impact across the world in sport? And I think that's one of the most exciting parts of it. It's around bringing everyone to the table and how we can bring this to life in the most exciting and cool way possible. One of the ways we did that as an example is when we had the working group, we had a lot of top sponsors, so the Olympic sponsors, and we had a lot of universities involved as well. So being able to involve experts from the likes of Deloitte, Alibaba, Intel, Samsung, a whole bunch of universities across Europe and USA. It was really exciting as someone who's an enthusiast of AI to be able to share a virtual room with people that were even more knowledgeable about AI than myself. So with those 5 guiding principles, that essentially creates a platform for us to explore areas where AI can strengthen solidarity. It can promote universality of sport. It can promote equal access to new technology. And it also supports sports development, just for athletes, for fans, for partners, all Olympic stakeholders. So from there, we have athletes at the heart of what we do at the Olympic Committee. So I'll go into a few different areas of what AI can do for athletes. So we start off with talent ID. So we sent a team into Senegal, which is where the Youth Olympic Games will be next year. And there was an opportunity for 1,000 kids to basically show their athleticism and create an opportunity for these kids to be seen in a way that they hadn't before. Using AI, we recognized 40 kids who had just a natural athleticism to have potential to go on to be an athlete in their future. I think that's really exciting. But obviously, as an athlete myself, if I was recognized as 8-year-old me wanting to be an Olympian, and they said, Sarah, you need to be a swimmer, which I did try. I would also add in the element of what am I passionate about? What am I wanting to do? So we're not going to use AI to say, this is the sport you have to do. But you're really athletic in general. What things are you interested in? So for me, it was BMX racing. But how do we capture those athletes or the potential athletes of the future and provide them opportunities that wouldn't have been there before? So another part of being an athlete, coaching and training. So not every athlete, even at the top level, gets a coach that's their own, that personalize their training, that personalizes their feedback at events. So we can use AI to coach these athletes at all levels to be able to elevate their performances, to make them better in every area of what they're doing. But it can also help augment a coaching person. So you could have a real life coach who uses AI as a tool to bounce off. So for example, if I'm practicing my start, a coach could use AI to analyze my start and work with to and from the AI to help me get a better start. As maybe those who have experimented with AI, maybe ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever it is that you use, you kind of bounce back and forth and expand on ideas and what you could do with it. So, of course, as mentioned previously, data for some of these sports and countries may be more data, it might be less data, but the quantity and the quality of that data will be so important for getting these things right. So like a BMX won't have a lot of data, so how do you make sure or reduce the risk of bias within that data? Then it comes to health, so injury prevention. I did BMX racing, so I broke 18 bones. So maybe injury prevention and maybe recovery from injury, but being able to reduce the chance of being away from your athlete life, and being able to be healthy, not just in your sport, but for life beyond your sport as well. Then judging or refereeing, I heard the question from the previous session. So it can provide real-time analysis. For example, in diving, you've got all these rotations and flips that need to be taken into consideration that happen in fractions of a second. So being able to use AI to kind of get the black and white elements or the technical elements elaborated on for a judge can be very beneficial. Same with trampoline. You may have or may not have noticed on a trampoline, you've got the lines, and if an athlete bounces outside of those lines, there's certain point reductions for sections on the tramp. So being able to use AI to kind of remove that element of judging from humans on the sideline, and they can focus more on the artistic part of a routine. So it's finding that balance, but I think, as mentioned, technology isn't perfect at this point, so it still is really important to have humans involved. But who knows where AI will end up and where it's going. But that's where our guiding principles come back in. So finally, on the athlete part, we have safeguarding. So in Paris, we had online abuse monitoring for the Paris Olympics. And that really protected athletes from any negative, or not negative, but hateful comments on their social media profiles, and it reduced them being able to see them. They were flagged and removed before athletes often saw them. So they could really focus on just being themselves authentically, doing their performance at the Olympic Games, and then not being distracted by hateful comments, and keeping their well-being and happiness as a top priority. So that's kind of what the athlete world looks like. And then, so I'll transition it a little bit to maybe a bit more specific to what you're there for today, which is around the Olympics and how it could inspire cities in event hosting. So there's digital twinning, which allows us to look at challenges and test solutions without even needing to be on a site every time. So examples that Elena covered, AI Elena, with Lucy, was around traffic management, so foot traffic, crowd management, that kind of thing, but also public transport. When you have huge influx of people to an event at a specific time, how do you manage those things? What are the security measures? But it goes beyond that. Like, what are the legacy of the venues? How do you treat a temporary venue? What are the seating layouts? All those things can be used with a digital twin model to be able to make it the most effective and most efficient venue you could have. It could also be used for fan engagement. So you could go in and check out venues and interact with the digital replica of that venue. And then, so all of those things can help the Olympics become more optimized in the future. And that will improve the fan experience, but it will also, really importantly, improve the planning for the games and make them more effective, more efficient, and hopefully reduce the cost of hosting Olympics as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear
Oh,
you.
wonderful, wonderful. All right, Sarah is live, everybody. Sarah, I have a question for you. One of the core messages of this summit has been about keeping people and athletes at the center of innovation. From your perspective as both an athlete and an AI expert, how do you see athletes or AI supporting athletes, whether in safety or, as you mentioned, coaching, officiating, or even managing their online presence during the actual Olympics?
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was kind of, I had covered off a lot of what the athletes do and can work with AI around that talent ID, around coaching and training, around their health, around judging and refereeing and safeguarding. So there's all these elements that the athletes can use now, but also even more into the future as AI gets smarter and we get more progress on what AI is capable of. But it's exciting. I think if I was to go back to my career and have AI being able to help with my training, I think it would have been extremely beneficial, and it may have even prevented me from a couple of crashes that I had that put me out of being able to train and compete across the years that I competed. So I think it's exciting for athletes moving forward of what is possible. It could potentially help recognize athletes that didn't even know that they could be. But I think the layer in there is if we recognize a potential athlete, then how do we support that athlete as well? It's not just going, hey, that kid's really good. It's going, that kid's really good. What's the next step? How do we help them realize their potential?
My next question for you, Sarah, is looking forward to the next Olympic Games. Can you share one or two examples of how AI might be used in the Olympics and how it could also perhaps inspire cities when it comes to event hosting, whether it be local or large scale?
Yeah, so as mentioned there, I think one of the key exciting parts of AI is around digital twinning, being able to replicate a venue and look at all the ways that it could be used, all the opportunities, all the challenges, and test however many solutions you'd like to test without needing to be on site, which that's massive, being able to look at whether there's an event, for example, athletics, where you have, say, the 100-meter final at the Olympic Games, but there's also all the other track and field events going on at the same time. Is there an influx of people coming just for that event? How do you adjust for that? And what's that real-time feedback so that we can take those learnings and apply that for future games? So that we have maybe more people on the gate to help with people coming in, or it might be a few more security in certain parts of the venue, or it might be more public transport at that time of the night, or if there's a certain time that an event finishes, making sure that you're not having too much or too little transport, you're not having too much or too little people in the places they need to be. So those little adjustments mean that it can be more effective, more efficient, and create just a more optimized event.
Amazing. My final question for you, Sarah, is what are the guiding principles behind the Olympics AI agenda? And more specifically, why is the IOC embracing AI? How is it being approached to ensure technology sustains and strengthens rather than replaces the human spirit?
Yeah, great question. So, the 5 guiding principles I mentioned were integrity, fair and accessible, personalized, balancing tradition and innovation, and then collaboration. So those guiding principles will support any decisions that are made in the future, but that allows us to really strengthen our solidarity. It allows us to promote the universality of sport. We can promote equal access to this new technology, And we want to support sports development for all the athletes, for the fans, for our partners, for all Olympic stakeholders. So having that as the platform of how we move forward as AI evolves is really critical, because even when we started even talking about AI, we realized that it was moving so quickly, and to wait to see where it went could be risky in itself because it's moving so quickly. So how do we jump on board, make sure that we're aware of what's happening, and create that flexibility to move with it and move forward, but kind of to, as it evolves even further to where we almost don't know exactly what it's going to look like in 5 years or 10 years from now. But these foundations or guiding principles allow us to have that flexibility, but with a real focus on what is our values as the Olympic movement, and making sure that we don't go off track. So yeah, a really important piece in what we're doing.
Wow. Thank you so much. Everybody, another round of applause, please, for Sarah. All right, everybody. Now it is time for us to take it from the digital to your personal device. So will everybody please take out their phones? Yes, please take out your phone. Please take out your phone, because we have a QR code that y'all need to scan. So please scan the QR code. And this will take you to our Menti questions, where we're gonna have a live, in-person questions where you'll see the data populated right before your eyes. All right, is everybody in? Yeah? Oh, we have a couple more, please scan. All right. Okay, everybody. Now, we are going to go into our very first question, which is, how much do you think you use AI? You have a couple of options here. Wait, what is this again? I've clicked it once, I think. We're starting to make friends. It's part of my daily routine, and send help. I can't live without it. Ooh, we're seeing a lot of, we're starting to make friends. Okay. It's part of my daily routine is starting to populate up. All right. Oh, wait, what is this again? We have one person. And you can tell us the truth here. How much do you really think you use AI in your day-to-day life? All right. We have another, I clicked it once, I think. Well, as we can see, we're almost neck and neck with, we're starting to make friends, and it's part of my daily routine now. I'll give you all a couple more seconds. Make your final votes. All right. It's part of my daily routine. This shows 41% of the people in this room believe that AI is part of their daily routine. 1% thinks, wait, what is this again? Or may not think that they use AI. All right, our next question. In artificial intelligence, which word means more to you? The artificial part or the intelligent part? Ooh, 100% intelligence. Okay. All right, we have a live battle going on between artificial and intelligence. It looks like intelligence is the actual more important word. Okay, very nice. A couple more seconds for everybody to put in their votes. We have a little artificial, at least admit it's faking it. Okay, 80%. Amazing. So we're seeing right here in live time that the word intelligence means more to us in this room. Very cool. Next, if AI could replace one thing in your daily life, what would you happily delegate? First, emails. Next, meetings. Cooking. My boss. Don't worry, we won't tell him or her. Oh, we're seeing a lot of emails and meetings. Emails. Yeah. I find too that a lot of times in AI, putting an email through or writing an email and then having AI kind of organize your brain dump is quite nice. All right, 48% of the room, emails. I think most of us here are using AI to write our emails or help at least facilitate the process to make it a little bit more optimal. If you don't know already, ChatGPT has a very distinct sound. If you're using dashes in your emails, this is just off the cuff, by the way. Everyone knows it's ChatGPT. If you say, it's not just a blah, 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 it's a blah, 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 ChatGPT. So I'm just giving you guys a little extra. All right, emails, amazing. Okay, how do you feel when someone says AI is coming for your job? Ooh, all right, not my job. Even robots get bored. I'm already training it to replace me. Oh, we have a live battle going on right now. We're at 30 to, oh, okay, good. Maybe it'll finally meet my deadlines. We have some very busy people in this room. Where are all my I'm ready training it to replace me folks? I feel like we have a couple more people who could probably be training AI to replace them so that they can be doing better things and different things. All right. 50% of the people, good. Maybe I'll finally meet my deadlines. Okay, happily, AI will never replace. Please type in your answer. Oh, family, human, love, happiness, clients. That is true. Intuition, ooh, athletes, dreams, exercise. The teacher experience, human connection. These are amazing words. Keep them coming. 노는 것. Sensibility, convo skills, social interactions, food. Empathy. We're seeing a lot of real human words here. Things that we can physically touch and feel, but also things that we can't. Emotions. Hugs. My mom. That's very true. My mom is here today too. I wouldn't be able to replace that. Fitness, joy, my bike. AI 개발. Social interactions. Some words I probably won't say up here on the stage. Critical thinking, faith. Wow, that's a big one. Couple more seconds. Sensibility, social anarchy. Strategic partner. Dreams. That's a good one. Vacations. That is a very good one as well. All right, everybody. These are amazing, amazing ones. Who wrote Kelly Kim? Thank you very much. That was very sweet of you. Was that you, Mom? All right. This was very good. All right, everybody. Now, what about esports? Is esports short for extreme sports? True or false? Ooh, right away false. I think that was from Melanie. I saw her do it right away. She knows. All right. Overwhelmingly, we all know that esports is not short for extreme sports. Couple more seconds. Yep. We have 4 people in the room who believe that esports is short for extreme sports, and 84 that believe that it's false. Okay. All right. Few more seconds. 넘어가겠습니다. It means I'll go on to the next. All right. You can get a university scholarship in esports. True or false? Ooh, right away, true. Yep. We have a lot of people coming in with true, some people false. You actually can get a university scholarship in esports. So for all of you who have teens at home who are playing games, you should let them. They may get a scholarship. All right, a couple more seconds. Please cast your votes. All right. 넘어가겠습니다. Here, LOL means laugh out loud. What do y'all think? Oh, right away false. Oh, we have a lot of true. LOL. What does that mean? Does it mean laugh out loud? Does it mean something else? And by here, I mean in the context of esports. I'll give you a hint. There's a very famous game that's from Korea. We have master players. A couple more seconds. I don't know if you can change your vote, but if you want to, now's the time. Because LOL does not mean laugh out loud. It means League of Legends. All right, everybody. Now, that was our final question. But before I let you all go, it's time for us to make real connections. So, we have a 30-minute coffee break. It's a little bit longer than most summits, but because we want you guys to talk all of those words that we said on the board or on this Menti Mentor, make those connections, create lasting conversations. Please enjoy the coffee. It'll be in the hall, and I'll see you guys back here in 30 minutes. Thank you very much.